Welcome to the Kill Shot MMA podcast for UFC Noche. Bunk, if you saw on YouTube, he's watching Contender Series. I am too on the side. We record these live on Tuesday nights on my YouTube channel at Sniper Wins. I'm Sniper. That's Monk, as I mentioned. And we post to DFS Army. It's the DFS Army Kill Shot MMA podcast. Make sure you like our channel, subscribe, all the good stuff. Join DFS Army. We had a Millie Maker winner week 1 in NFL, off to a strong start. So you want to join up? Link down below. But let's talk MMA. Diego Lopez, John Silva is the main event for UFC Noche. The rest of the card, honestly, is pretty cursed, in my opinion. There have been so many changes this fight. There's 5 canceled fights, and we lost Carlos Vera was going to be on the card, Edgar Chairez was going to be on the card, Pennington Dumont was going to be on the card, Rosas Jr. and Rob Font were going to be on the card. It's all kinds of crazy shit. But we got 14 fights, tons to break down for DraftKings. By the way, speaking of screenshots, ton of DFS Army MMA screenshots from last week.
Yeah.
Bunch of optimal hits. I was on the second nuts. I mean, there was tons of money to be made. Thank you, Sam Patterson.
Yeah.
And thank you, Sam Hughes. If Ante Delia doesn't outscore Sam Hughes by under a point, I take down everything. But
yeah, she smashed.
On to this week. Plenty to look at. Do me a favor. I don't know what I asked a bunch in the beginning. Smash the like button. Monk, are you ready? I don't want to do too much intro because we got 14 fights to go through.
Yes, sir. Had a great week last week, like you said. And yeah, let's go on to the next one. Try to give these folks a repeat of what happened last week.
Let's do it, and let's start with a fight that was supposed to happen about 3 weeks ago, the tough finale fight of Rodrigo Sezinando and Daniel Donchenko. Donchenko's the favorite, minus 205. The comeback on Sezinando, is plus 175. Keep wanting to put the N before the Z, even though it's not. Fight ends inside the distance is minus 220. Your DraftKings salaries this week: Donchenko is 8,800. Sezinando is 7,400. Mug, I'm going to let you go, but I peeked at everybody's notes beforehand. Notes are up, more explanation, all the good stuff at DFS Army. I guess it's on me this week to provide underdogs because you should just put a giant chalky dunce cap on your head. You're going to have to defend some of these to me because all the favorites can't win.
Yeah, it was last week too. Oh my goodness, last week too. I was extremely chalky. I don't like it. I really don't. But I'm going through the names, and it is what it is. This one I have no confidence in. Right, so I'm a stat guy. We got no stats for Donchenko, Sezinando. The salaries are such where I picked Donchenko to win, but I'm not confident, and the upside likely lies in the $7,400 Rodrigo Sezinando here. So that's what we're going to go with. We're hoping this one finishes ITD. We do see a minus 220 right around their line for that. So that's exactly what we want, meaning hopefully the winner will score well enough to get on the optimal lineup no matter who it is. And yeah, what do they have? 22 total fights. 6 of them have gone to decision. So that's not the lowest number in the world, but it's not the highest number either. So we're just hoping for a finish. I'm going to say play about 20% of both sides. I have no problem if I'll probably be higher on Rodrigo than I will on Donchenko, even though I'm picking Donchenko to win based on basically nothing. So yeah, that's how we're going to do that one. Great fight for GPPs. Yeah.
All right.
I got nothing.
I watched the tough series and I watched tape on these guys. This line's too wide. I'm going to pick Sezinando straight up. I think there's a little bit of recency bias here, similar to what happened with Morales, where he lost his tough won his tough semifinal, but by split decision versus the guy who ran through the season in Alibi. We saw how that turned out. Granted, that Joseph Morales I've never fucking seen before, so yeah. I don't know what's going to happen this week, but same thing. Sezinando won his semifinal fight via split decision, and Donchenko's been rolling through people. For what it's worth, Donchenko is coming from the same promotion that Alibi did in Nazia, which is, I believe, Ukrainian or Eastern European. Regardless, I think Sezinando's faced better caliber of competition. I think if he can wrestle and get takedowns, I think he's going to have a huge grappling advantage. This really comes down to, can he get takedowns? Closing the distance against Donchenko is going to be fucking dangerous because he has huge power. I think he can. I think the quality competition, I have to lean on Sezinando for the pick, but this is not the case on this card. And I know I say this a lot, but this is a load up all in fight. We have 14 fights this week. There's quite a few DFS shit shows where I just don't want to play fucking anybody. So this is one that don't lose it in all the other fight breakdowns we're about to do. This is one of the best ones to target both sides of. So I'm picking Sezinando, but be over on both sides of this one for GPPs. All right, let's talk. Two of my strongest takes in the card, by the way. The first one, go ahead and play a ton of. And this one, I could look real stupid here, but Alice Pereira, Montserrat, Rendon. Alice Pereira is the favorite at minus 140. Rendon is plus 120. Fight goes to decision is minus 220. Your DraftKings salaries for this one, Alice Pereira is 8,600. Rendon is 7,600. Monk, I mean, you got no stats on Pereira, but she's the brother of Alex Pereira. Who you got in this fight?
Yeah, I was gonna pick Rendon, but I ended up going with Pereira here. She's only 5-0, no stats, and that's kind of what I was looking at. She's 4 finishes out of 5 fights, and I was like, well, she's untrustworthy clearly. But then you look at Rendon.
Oh, wait. They are not related. Sorry.
Who's not related?
He's related to Alini Pereira.
Oh shit!
Well, I totally was thinking of the wrong Pereira. Totally in my head, I said it, and I was like, wait, Alice Alini? No, we've already seen her brother this year. So I'm sure I had some people typing, "You're a fucking idiot." La 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 la. Well, shut up. It was it was in my brain for a second, and we're one letter off. We're one letter off.
I thought it was too at first, for sure.
And it's Alini, but yeah.
Yeah, Alini, Alice, same, but different, but still same. But yeah, 5-0, so very untrustworthy as far as records go. She's a relative newcomer to the whole sport. Then you look at Rendon. Yeah, she has 2 UFC fights, neither of which looked great. Like on paper, she should have won that Zheleznikova fight, but in actuality, she really didn't. She looked really bad, especially in pretty much all rounds. She got outstruck over 2-1. Did land a couple of takedowns and some control, but every time Daria got up, she just was putting it on her. We've never, like you said, we haven't seen Morales like that. We have not seen Zheleznikova look like that ever. And then her win against Vidal doesn't really do much for me. Split decision, whatever. She's only got 2 more fights than Alice Pereira does as a professional, 7-5. Her offense looks terrible other than her takedowns and her control time, which is a huge weapon in this one. But she's also never finished a fight. Ever. That is extremely rare to see someone in the UFC that has never gotten a finish or been finished. And Pereira, like I said, has 4 finishes there. So I went with the one with the more finish upside. Because if Rendon wins, I mean, what's her salary? 7,600. She might not even 10x, or even if she does, she might not have enough. She might not have enough to make the optimal lineup at all. Like she's landed 3 takedowns in both of her fights. She scored. If she would have won against Zheleznikova, that's 65 points. Against Vidal, she scored 89, which is probably close enough to make the optimal. But again, with 26 other fighters on the card, I just don't know. So if she can get takedowns, then she's probably going to win. If she can't, we know she's not going to win a decision, we know she's not going to finish a fight, rather. So I'm just worried about her score, and Pereira being the finisher and Rendon getting outstruck very badly by Zheleznikova. I think it's at least a 50-50 shot. So I took the favorite here, and I'll probably have a little bit more of her roster than Rendon.
Okay, Rendon is my favorite underdog play on the card, but by a lot. Look, Alice Pereira. This is a patterned Brazilian record. You ready for this? Her last fight, 12-8-1, went to decision. Okay, yeah, we're gonna wiki cap here for a second because this is wild when I looked into it. Carla Lacerda was 2-0 when they fought. 2-1 has not won since then, and her wins were against 0-0 and 0-1. Okay, let's go a little bit further back. This record, she fought someone so bad it's ineligible on Tapology. That's not good. Christine Silva, she won in 15 seconds. Yeah, that was her pro debut. She's still 0-1. This fighter was 1-6, took her a whole round there. Also flagged by Tapology for some shady shit. And then her first fight was against Raquel de Andrade, who never fought again. I get she's 19 years old and looks like a killer. Oh, by the way, and since this fight, Samara Santos has lost another one, lost another fight. She's fought fucking nobody in nowhere. If Montserrat Rendon can get takedowns, I think she's fine. I think she can get takedowns, control time, score well. I can't trust somebody with this is their record in the UFC. Because I found tape on a couple of these, and it doesn't help you at all because she's just smashing garbage can women. Like there's nothing useful out there. Say what you want about Montserrat Rendon. She's 1-1 in the UFC. She can get takedowns. Was in at least a legit high-level MMA fight against Daria Zelenjanikova. Yes, she lost it, but, she was in it. Like, she's going to be bigger, stronger. She's going to have real woman strength against a 19-year-old. Look, could what's-her-face Pereira win? I guess so, but at minus 220 to go to decision and being the one who's going to grapple, yeah, I can't see how she's going to sub 1 minute Montserrat Rendon. It's hard to really tell because she's been smashing regional cans. If you see the tape, you believe in it, you want to go with her, I guess I understand. I'm just not going to go there. I'm going to take the UFC seasoned fighter who I think can get takedowns at 7,600. I will make sure to be well over the field on Rendon and well under the field on Pereira. I'll also say Montserrat Rendon is a cash game lock at minus 220 to go to decision at 7,600. All right, two of my strongest takes in the card. I promise I'll calm down just a little bit, probably. Maybe. Let's talk Alessandro Costa and Alden Coria. Costa, the biggest favorite on the card, minus 500. Coria is plus 385. Fight ends inside the distance is minus 150. And because he's the biggest favorite on the card, he's the most expensive fighter on the DraftKings board at 9,500. Alden Coria is 6,700. Monk, where are you going?
We picked Alessandro Costa here. He was supposed to fight somewhat recently, but for some reason I don't remember why the fight was called off. I do believe. Oh, maybe I thought he was supposed to fight somewhere in between Borjas and here.
No, he was supposed to fight on this card, I believe. Yeah, he was going to fight Edgar Chairez, and Chairez pulled out.
Oh, that's maybe what it was. He's 2-2 in the UFC, but his two losses are to Albazi and Urseg, two guys towards the very top of the division. He absolutely smashed Kevin Borjas. It wasn't even freaking close. Did all kinds of striking in that fight, 7 strikes a minute. And then Jimmy Flick, who loves getting hit in the face, he landed almost 11 strikes per minute in 6 minutes. He has 65 strikes in 6 minutes. He's defending takedowns relatively well. He's only been taken down by the aforementioned Albazi and Ursig, and it was just once. He's 2 of 12 on takedown, or I guess 10 of 12 on takedown defenses, which is looking pretty good. So we're going to look at Correa's, how he's finishing. It's 4-4, 4 KOs, 4 subs. So you have to assume he knows a little bit about being on the ground, but Costa also with 6 submission wins as well. I just trust Costa here. I think he's anxious to get back in there after, it hasn't been a long time off, but in between the Borjas and Ursig, I guess it's only been 6 months. Why do I think for some reason he's been off for a long time, but I guess not. Either way, he's going to be anxious to get back in here. His defense doesn't look great when it comes to striking, allowing 3.5 per minute, but his takedown defense is 91%. He doesn't control much of the control time, so he's going to have to keep this one on the feet. I think he can do it. I think he's got the power to put Coria down, give him his first KO loss, at least a knockdown. So I like the points opportunity, the ceiling for Costa, even at 9,600. He's been paying that off. I think this is technically more expensive than he's been. He has been actually, no, he's not. Yeah, against Jimmy Flick, he made it 9,400. And then Borjas, I guess he was way cheaper at 82. So he is the most expensive he's been here, but I think he can pull it off against the UFC debutant.
By the way, quick contender series aside, because I know not everybody's into it. We're talking about quality of records before. We got a Brazilian guy who's 8-0, who's fought, I think, one person who had won a fight before.
Oh, geez. And
then because a short notice replacement is 3-0, who's never fought somebody with a winning record as a pro. It's fucking wild. Like it's just, I don't know. On to this fight, Alessandro Costa. Yeah, he should win here. He's better. I think he's better than Coria. I don't want to overcomplicate it. My problem here is that Costa's 9,500, And I got Tatiana Suarez at 9,400, Dusko Todorovic at 9,300, and main event John Silva at 9,200. I don't know how much of him I can really play. I'll probably be underweight for that reason, just because there's only so much I can play. I do think he's pretty safe in all formats if you want to roster him. There's probably other spots I go, and really, I mean, Tatiana Suarez is a better cash game play, so it's a rough one. I have to side with Costa, though. It just comes down to how much you can play him.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Zachary Reese, Sedriques, Dumas. Reese is minus 220. Dumas is plus 185. Fight ends inside the distance is minus 550, so a rare, really strong one to target on this card for DFS. DraftKings salaries. Zachary Reese is 8,900. Dumas 7,300. I know it's going around. Dumas has got like no money in his bank account, and you know what? When you're a multiple-time felon piece of shit, I have no sympathy for you. So there we are. That I still hope Sedriques Dumas gets knocked the fuck out, and I think he does. But Monk, we'll let you go first.
Yeah, I'm really hoping for that same thing. The only issue here is he's shown somewhat decent striking defense. He only allows 2.5 strikes a minute at a 56% striking defense, which is pretty good, but he lands 2.1. His takedowns are 0.42 per 5 minutes. He controls majority of the control time, but I don't really know what he does offensively that's going to, outside of some flash knockdown or knockout like we've seen Zachary Reese take in the past, most notably to Cody Brundage in his debut, and then Bakoyev did the same thing in 3 minutes 2 fights ago. I just like Zachary Reese here. I think, 4-2, so he's already got 6 fights in the UFC, or 5, I should say. I was counting the DWCS one. But his first one was in 2023, the very end, that Austin card that I went to. So he's gotten 5 fights done in about 2 years, less than 2 years. And he's looked pretty good. I mean, he's doing exactly what he's supposed to do against less than ideal competition in Marquez, terrible. Medina, terrible. Todorovic, usually terrible, but, we'll talk about that here in a minute. But yeah, I like what I've seen. He's got power. His striking is extremely consistent from round 1 all the way to round 3 at about 4.3, 4.2 strikes per minute. The takedowns and control time, somehow he doesn't have not even 1 minute or 1 second rather in the second round, but in the first round and the third round, he is on fire with those. So it seems like he likes to get that out of the way early, go for a ground and pound finish. And if it doesn't happen, he takes the second round off somehow. And then in the third round, he's like, oh shit, I got to win. Brings the takedowns back in here. Dumas has a 40% takedown defense. So while I said he controls majority of the grappling time, his takedown defense is very suspect. That could be a lot of points for Zachary's. It could also mean a ground and pound finish for Zachary's as well. So I'm on his side. Dumas has been finished in all 3 of his losses. And I believe this week at 8,900, this could be a little bit of a low salary for what we could get at the end, his scoring potential for Zachary. So offensively, Reese looks fantastic. The only red mark on his offensive stats is his strength of schedule. But again, this is what happens when you actually build a fighter and you don't just throw him to the wolves like half of the main event. So give me Zachary Reese to get it done. And yeah, fuck Sedriques Dumas.
Yeah, fuck him. I will say he continues to look improved though. And I do think this line is a little wide. Not enough to where I'm going to pick Zachary Reese. Minus 220 in a, I think, high volatility fight where Dumas continues to look improved. I'm a little bit worried. Good news is, though, I don't have to bet this fight. It's not a cash game fight, and I can just be overweight to both guys. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So
he might be
Reese
super distracted too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as long as he's not kicking Zachary Reese with a ankle monitor on, I think we'll be okay.
That's true.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk Jesus Aguilar and Luis Guriel. Guriel is minus 220. Aguilar is minus 185. Sorry, we don't have that number. Over 2.5 rounds is minus 165. Your DraftKings salaries. Guriel is, where the hell is he? He's not on my list. I can't find him.
87.
There he is, 8,700. Thank you. Aguilar is 7,500. Monk, I'm having a hard time understanding how Guriel can be made this big of a favorite ever again after how bad he burned all our fucking nipples last time. But here we are again, 8,700. What you doing?
Yeah, he's basically the same line as he was against Ode Osborne, which I find kind of funny and kind of sad. Yeah, I can't trust him. This is one of the very few underdogs I picked this week in Jesus Aguilar. Defensively, I mean, he's got, again, like Dumas, 40% takedown defense, but we're not really looking for a ton of that from the Gurule side. I'm probably saying his last name wrong, but I've said it 50 times already, so that's just what we're going with. But otherwise, Aguilar's defense looks really good. Striking-wise, 1.1 strikes a minute is what he allows. He's landing 0.6 takedowns per 5 minutes. The control time is okay. He is going to be, this is probably going to be more of a grappler versus striker matchup as we've seen lately. But I like Aguilar here. Gurule, 50% takedown defense, and you're like, oh, Ode must have done it. No, not even one attempt from Ode. It was his Dana White Contender Series fight where he allowed 10 of 20 to Nick Piccinini and got out-controlled 5.5 minutes to basically 0. So Aguilar, 2 of 5 against Estevam, I mean, which is fantastic. And also the reason why he's 40% is because he fought Rafael Estevam, 11 for 19 takedowns. There's nothing you can really do about that. 1 for 4 against Mendoza, so he's not throwing a ton. In one of his in his DWCS fight, it was 3 of 8, but that should be exactly the route he's looking for this week against Luis here. There's like no striking for Jesus Aguilar, but it should be a bunch of grappling. All he has to do is not get KO'd by Luis in the early rounds. So I'm going with Aguilar here. Kind of like the argument you made, the more established UFC veteran. He's got the obviously the much better strength of schedule. I mean, Shannon Ross, Mendoza's not terrible, but not great. Nickel and Ross are pretty bad, but his losses are to Estevam and Tatsuro Taira. So yeah, this is pretty much a step down from those guys,
rough, yeah,
in my opinion. So yeah, give me Aguilar to get it done, and let's hope Luis disappoints us. Well, disappoints someone two times in a row. It's not going to be me the second time.
Yeah, I can't play much Gurriel. Expected to go to decision, 8,700. And I'm going to pick Aguilar as well. This is another dog I like. So clearly my favorite underdog range in all formats. And really, actually, anywhere from 7,200 to 7,600. Like Rendon, Aguilar, Sezinando, and Dumas. All stuff we're going to talk about here. Yeah, they're all super live. I'm watching the plus 360 dog now fully mounted, that guy from Brazil who's never fought anybody.
Dude, he looks like he doesn't know what to do on the ground.
This is so fun. I can't. It's so distracting. And he took half guard. Crucifix. It's just wild. Sorry. Yeah, so I'm going to go with Aguilar everywhere.
Crucifix. Jesus.
Yep, he did. He totally put himself in a crucifix. You're a couple seconds behind me. Look, I'll go with Aguilar. Good in all formats. I think I don't need him in cash because I have Rendon and I have, who else did we just talk about? It's already just slipped my mind.
Dumas.
That's a GPP high volatility fight. Oh no, it might be Aguilar's the other one who's kind of live. Just Aguilar's the only one with any DFS upside, in my opinion. Close fight. Think it's a little bit too wide. I can't trust Gurriel again. Sorry, I was so thrown off by this heavyweight shit show. Or these 205ers, I should say. This is the wildest thing to see.
Oh.
I hope you guys are watching. I hope everyone is. If you're streaming with us on Tuesdays, this show becomes 95% DraftKings breakdown, 5% Contender Series companion
reaction.
This is fucking something. All right, let's talk. All right, talk about trusting people who have burned us in the past. I am going to do it with Tatiana Suarez taking on Amanda Lemos. Tatiana Suarez is minus 450 in this mattress. Lemos is plus 355. Fight ends inside the distance is minus 150. DraftKings salaries, Suarez is 9,400. Lemos is 6,800. Monk, where are you going?
Yeah, I love Suarez in all formats here. Lemos just, I don't know. I mean, she's 38 years old now. Her defense is extremely suspect. She's a good striker, but as far as volume goes, she's landing less than 3 strikes per minute. The accuracy is there at 54%, but that's really about it. She gets taken down. She gets out-controlled. Her takedown defense is 60%. Even her DraftKings scoring is terrible. She's giving up an average of 123 per loss. Now, if you take out the 190 that she gave up to Zhang and the 92 she gave up to someone, which is the lowest amount of points she's allowed in her 4 losses, is 92. You still get an average of her opponent scoring 123.7 points when she loses. So yeah, Suarez averages 113.6 in a win. She's going to get takedown. She's going to get a ton of control time. She can ground and pound. We're looking for non-significant strikes here, which was even against Zhang Wei Li. A good number of non-significant strikes. Montana De La Rosa, Nunez. I mean, the names aren't the best necessarily, but if you go back, it's Esparza, it's Grasso. So she's not fighting no one's. It's Andraz. The strength of schedule is a little bit better than Lemos overall. So and Amanda has not looked great recently. I mean, beating Yasmin Lucindo is fine. She lost to Verna. She lost to Zhang Wei Li. What do those two people have in common? They are primary grapplers for the most part. And what is Tatiana Suarez? A primary grappler. So, yeah, give me Suarez, who also has fantastic striking defense. Even in that fight against Zhang Wei Li, average that in. She's still only allowing 1.58 per minute. So, yeah, give me Suarez in all formats. I think she's going to smash here.
Now that both of these guys look gassed. So bad. I'm with you. I'm on Tatiana Suarez as well. Love is hard to say after last time when I loved her, and like predicting former, future champ, and I get it. But Lemos, it's a different animal. Lemos is live. There are some punts I don't think are live. I have to say Lemos is live, but I do feel pretty good in terms of this is either Suarez takedowns big score or Lemos any scores are going to be good enough. I like Tatiana Suarez in this spot. I'm going to go back to the well. Like her in all formats. I'll run back a little bit of Lemos as well. And there's some other punts I don't like as much. All right. Next up, we got Joaquim Neto BJJ Silva and Claudio Puelles. Puelles, small favorite, minus 119. Silva, comeback is about plus 100, minus 101, depending where you look. Fight goes to decision, minus 125. So the bookmakers have no idea. They're just 50-50 across the board and everything here. Puelles is 8,200. Neto BJJ is 8,000. Monk, where are you going?
We're going to go another underdog pick here in Joaquim Silva.
Barely. That doesn't count.
Barely. Even though his it counts technically, and that's all. He's the underdog on the lines and in DraftKings, so that's all we care about. His defense is not good. He lands 3.6 per minute, absorbs 4.5. We're not going to have to worry about that with Claudio Puelles, though, who lands 1.5 strikes a minute. What we do have to worry about is the takedowns at 1.06 per 5 and the control time and the submissions. Now, Puelles has god-awful striking defense, although he only allows, 2.78 per minute. He's still 46% defense. And like I said, Silva's landing almost 4 a minute. Silva also never been submitted. So basically, can Silva land punches on Puelles and not follow him to the ground, or can Puelles get a takedown and find a knee bar or some shit on Silva? That's kind of what we're looking at here. But again, no submissions allowed ever by Silva. Both guys have been fighting somewhat decent and somewhat bad competition. Silva's, lost to Close, Sarukian, Hackprast, Vince P. Shell back before he was like 40 years old. I know it seems like he's been 40 for 40 years, but he was 35 once. And then he's beating guys like old ass Clay Guida and Jesse Ronson. Puelles is also beating Guida, but then Gritzmacher, Levitt's probably his best win looking back now. And he did, go to the decision, probably lost it on paper, just barely, but a bunch of nothing happened in that fight other than Puelles just controlling him. So you're going to need to see a finish for one of these guys to make the optimal lineup, probably, unless Puelles somehow lands like 14 takedowns, but that's not really his game. He's more of a control guy. So I'm really not a ton interested in this. I have it as a 3-star fight, probably around 20% of both sides, maybe a bit more for Silva because he has the striking upside, but this is probably going to decision, which means no one's going to score well.
Yeah, I pretty much agree. I have a 3-star fight. I lean towards Puelles. I think he can get takedowns on Neto BJJ, and it kind of comes down to just that. If he doesn't, though, he's going to be outgunned on the feet. The problem is Puelles, even if he's going to win on the feet, he doesn't throw a lot of volume, at all. So I'm going to lean towards Puelles, especially with DraftKings on the line, and it's going to be, I'll go slightly overweight to Puelles, under on Silva, take some stands elsewhere. This is, while I gave Vegas shit, they don't know anything. We're not taking a stand on anything. I do agree it's pretty 50-50. I kind of agree with the analysis here, but I will lean on the Claudio Puelles side. That's how I'm going to attack it for DraftKings. All right, this next fight is fucking just gross everywhere. Like, researching this one hurt my soul, and it's going to be important for DraftKings. Jose Daniel Medina, and Dusko Todorovic. Todorovic, minus 350. That's all you need to say. Todorovic is minus 350 in a fight, and you go, oh, well, what's happening here? That's a thing. That's because Jose Daniel Medina, plus 285. I believe he's 0-3 in the UFC. Fight ends inside the distance fight goes to decision, minus 145. I don't think I agree with that. I think this line should be closer, and I think we should be favored to end inside the distance because that's what Dusko Todorovic kind of does. I know Jose Daniel Medina is a wet blanket, but I think Todorovic will force the action here. Monk, where are you going for a pick?
Yeah, that minus 145 GTD kind of surprised me, but yeah, I was doing my video last week and looking over the fights, and I was like, oh great, we have an all-in position on Dusko Todorovic. That's fucking terrifying. So yeah, that's kind of where I sit here. Pretty much a ton of Dusko in GPP games. Jose Daniel Medina has the worst offense and defense that we've seen in quite some time. Dusko's isn't much better, but at least his takedown defense is marginally better, 31% compared to 43%. But surprisingly, Dusko has incredibly good offensive numbers. I say that incredibly because of who he's facing, so it's not much of a comparison. But he lands almost 5 strikes a minute at a 57% accuracy. He has yet to land a knockdown, but he's got about half a takedown per 5 minutes, controls majority of the grappling time. And it's the exact opposite for Jose Daniel Medina, who has landed a bunch of takedowns in the DWCS and the Zach Reese fight. That's 11 total. But it seems to come out of necessity rather than actual talent, because he seems, I guess, quote, durable, unquote. But that's just against Zachary Reese and Godzi Zulov. So, I mean, we saw what happened when he fought Gauthier. He was done in three and a half minutes. And Todorovic, while never having landed a knockdown, we could see, he might be more difficult to take down. He's out here attempting takedowns more than probably Zachary Reese is. 4 of 13 against Zachary Reese. I guess these guys are fighting the exact same guys. 2 of 7 against Chidi back a couple years ago. 0 for 4 against Rodriguez. So he's attempting takedowns, and he should be able to get Medina down if he wants to. Get a little ground and pound finish, so that way he can get a finish without getting a knockdown, keep that streak going. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Also, I believe 3 of his 4 wins have been finishes. Yeah, that is correct. The only decision he went to was I guess that's 3 of 3 because his DWCS fight doesn't count. So 3 of his 3 wins, decisions, and that's what we like to see. Medina's terrible. I'm going to have way too much Dusko and just a little bit of Medina. I think this finishes, though. I don't get it.
Yeah, I think it finishes, so I'm going to be over on both guys. There's just that's how I'm going to approach it, because you have to. There's just, oh God, I have to pick Todorovic, even though I think the line is a little bit wide. I think he's got bigger power. Oh, this whole fight's just fucking weird. I think Todorovic is a little bit better. I think that little Jose Daniel Medina, but it's super variant. I'll just go a little bit over to both guys, and Todorovic is the pick. That's about as succinctly as I can put it. It's a fucking shit show.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of recency bias, though, Alexander Hernandez, Carlos Diego Ferreira, or just Diego Ferreira. Pick him. Hernandez minus 112, Ferreira at minus 108. So basically just a pick even fight. Over 2.5 rounds, minus 130. So it'll be 50-50 to go to decision. DraftKings salaries for this one. Hernandez is 8,400. Ferreira is 7,800. Monk, I'll be interested to see where you're going with this one.
Yeah, this was not an exciting fight for me to pick. I wanted to pick CDF, but I ended up going with Hernandez just basically from the momentum that he's riding off of that Chase Hooper win. But that said, we shouldn't see very many takedowns. We shouldn't see too much control time. It should be a striking battle. In which case we just said it was probably 50-50 to go to decision. It's probably it's 50-50 fight, but it's probably going to be slated to go to decision. We don't have props yet, at least unless they came out in the past few hours.
It's going to be 50-50.
Yeah.
So over 2.5 rounds is minus 130. So it's.
Yeah. So if that's the case, man, I think Ferreira obviously has the higher upside because of where we're salaried at here. He's 7,800, which is kind of expensive. Compared to, if he could be lower is what I'm saying. And no win is going to guarantee him optimal like it would at like a 69 or 7,000. But still, I think you should play both sides. He is 40, but that doesn't seem to mean much to him. He's only been, he's lost to Grant Dawson, which is not a bad loss at all. beat Rumbeschke, which at the time was extremely fantastic. I don't even think he had lost in the UFC at that point, maybe once, I don't remember. And then the resurging Michael Johnson, he put him down in less than 7 minutes. Hernandez, Chase Hooper win was whatever. Hollabaugh he beat by decision. Hubbard was a split. Jim Miller was 39 years old. And then Money Mike Breeden shouldn't even count as a real fight. And those are his last 5 wins in his last 5. So it's not really looking good. I wanted to pick CDF here, but I ended up going with Hernandez. That said, kind of like the last one, I think, or not the last one, well, one that I thought we were going to talk about that we haven't yet. The underdog has more potential for DFS than the favorite here. Hernandez pretty much scores like shit. 91.6 is his average, but that's because once he put up 128 and once he put up 40 in a win, and no, we're not rounding up to 41. That says 40.8.
Yeah,
Pereira also put up 123, but his floor is 25 points higher than that. So it's not going to be optimal if he scores 65 again. But at the same time, I trust his score better than I trust Hernandez. I don't even want, I'm not playing this in cash. Ferreira's too expensive. Hernandez just doesn't score enough. And I'll be pretty low on this overall. This might be one of the only 2-star fights that I have. It might be the only one. It is. So I'm not really looking for this one as far as DFS.
And the plus 360 dog just won by rear naked choke in the last 10 seconds.
I looked. And he could even barely stand up between 2 and 3.
It was funny. This whole fight, I can't. While I'm uploading this video and places and adding tags and stuff, I'm gonna go watch the reaction and the replay of that. That was fantastic. God.
He must be on Aljo's team. Aljo's out jumping around.
He's a Ray Longo guy.
Okay.
Vidal is a Ray Longo guy. So I lost my first 2 bets, but I cashed plus 360. Still
there
down.
You go.
I'm still down a unit and a half, but still, that was funny. Fucking wild, man.
Insane.
So bad. All right. Hernandez just fighting that win against Chase Hooper, I think, has elevated his line a little bit. He's not good for DFS. He is low scoring. Typically doesn't defend takedowns great. He's okay. Pereira, I think, is going to have more volume. He's got takedown upside. I think has more finish upside. Unless Hernandez is going to have a career resurgence, which, it's possible. We've seen it before. We kind of saw Bobby Green do it. It's possible. I just can't do it yet. I'm on Diego Ferreira. He's the guy I want to target. I'll be over on him. I'll be under on Hernandez. I don't like this fight overall. I think Ferreira is a cash game option if he's your last man in. He's who I'm going to pick here. I'm not falling for what I think is a Hernandez kind of recency bias trap.
Yeah.
Let's go Quang Lee and Santiago Luna. Santiago Luna, the debutant, is the favorite, minus 135. Quang Lee is plus 115. Your fight goes to decision is minus 125, still about 50-50. Your DraftKings salaries, Luna is 8,300. Quang Lee is 7,900. Monk, where you going?
I think I picked the favorite here in Luna, even though he has no stats making his debut, only 6 pro fights. It's because Quang Lee has 0 striking offense whatsoever. He looks terrible. It's less than 3 strikes a minute at a 38% accuracy, just real bad. Where he is going to shine is his takedowns and his control time, over 1 per 5 minutes, and then 94% of the control time overall. His striking defense is terrible. Takedown defense is 100% at this point, but it's just the Zhao Long fight where he was 3 for 3 on takedown defenses. Did fight Gutierrez, a very close fight in his debut, actually, where not a lot of anything happened. He went for takedowns, didn't really get them, had some control. I was going to pick him based on that, but you look at Luna, look at his tape. He knows what he's doing on the ground. I don't know how proficient he is at takedowns, but I assume he can stuff them. And even if he can't, excuse me, he's got 4 submission wins, guys. So Quang Lee's going to have to definitely look out if he's going to be trying to get this to the ground for sure. He does not have, he's got 4 subs as well, but it just seems to be what's probably a different level, comparatively, because Lee has not finished. He got finished. I guess he subbed Bolaños, which is not a high level opponent whatsoever. But against Gutierrez, he didn't really do much. He didn't get a submission attempt at all. Same thing against Zhao Long, a fight in which he won by KO TKO. And I'm just not confident in him. I need to see some more out of him. Guy is 12 years younger than Lee as well, so that could work either way. Lee's not old. He's only 33. So he could prove, experience pays, or Luna could just look like a wrecking ball and, a young guy that's just going to smash this dude. So I like Santiago Luna here, kind of being a little risky, but, with only 6 fights. But I think he's also probably has the DFS upside if he can stuff takedowns.
Yeah, so I think Luna can. I've watched the tape, and it's a little bit hard to predict this fight because there's that, Santiago Luna is making his debut. It's not against high-level competition. Conley's looked okay grappling, but I think, so that's, you mentioned it. You kind of hit it on the head. Conley, not much in the way of striking, usually needs to grapple, and I think Luna outguns him there. And I think that's just the simple fight breakdown. So I'm going to go with Santiago Luna. I think he's fine in all formats. I think you get sneaky on him and go overweight. And I'll be under to Conley because I just don't think he has the grappling upside. And in this range, I'd probably rather play Puelles. I'd rather play Ferreira. Maybe you can get to field weight on Conley because we'll talk about Rob Font and David Martinez. That fight sucks for DFS. So the mid-range isn't full of great options. So maybe I end up, it's field or under for Conley. I will get a little bit of leverage here on the debutant, who I think has the grappling upside. Kelvin Gastelum, Dustin Stoltzfus. Gastelum minus 240. Stoltzfus is plus 205. Fight goes to decision is minus 160. Your DraftKings salaries. Gastelum's 9,000. Stoltzfus is 7,200. Monk, where are you going?
This is tough. I picked Gastelum, but he is 9K this week. He's never been that expensive. He was 88 against Heinisch, and he was like 89 against D-Rod, both fights that he won. So yeah, it's tough to roster him at that price, especially since, what did you just say? This is minus 160 GTD. And when's the last time Kelvin got a finish here? It's not even in his last 4 because he's only 4-6 in his last 10. So it's been a while, as that dude from Stained once said. But yeah, give me Gastelum. Although I will say, Stoltzfus at 7,200 looks like it could be a decent thing to target here. I'll probably have more Stoltzfus roster than Gastelum, even though I picked Gastelum. And it's probably recency bias, but he looked, in my opinion, pretty damn good against Ruzaboyev. I think you could argue he won that fight. On paper, it was extremely close, but 2 of 5 takedowns, 5 minutes of control. And Ruzaboyev is supposed to be, obviously all we've seen in the UFC is striking, but he's got 20-some submissions under his belt. He knows what he's doing on the ground. Stoltzfus beats MAB before that, beats Soriano. He's losing to decent opponents in Fajeda and Magomedov, GM3, if you want to go back that far. His defense is not great. He is allowing as many strikes as he dishes, but he's landing almost a takedown per 5 minutes. He controls majority of the control time, and Kelvin Gastelum has a 59% takedown defense. So I don't know, man. I was kind of 50-50 on this. I ended up going with Gastelum, but honestly, I could see a path or two for Stoltzfus here. I could see him winning the fight, and if he wins at 7,200, I don't like the term break the slate, but he could definitely do that.
I love the term break the slate.
It sounds like a Linkin Park song or something. But yeah, and not the biggest fan of Linkin Park, this guy. So
let's not devolve here.
Yeah, let's not.
Get him, chat. Get him.
We could go on to bring your Linkin Park love at me, and I'll tell you how many.
I don't even love Linkin Park.
Dude, just choose. Are you gonna scream? Are you gonna sing? Are you gonna rap? Are you gonna be a DJ? Why don't you just choose one? But yeah,
go ahead.
No, give me Gastelum to win, but honestly, I think Stoltzfus has majority of the DFS upside here. Gastelum's not a good scorer, even though he's been optimal 2 of 3 times, or 2 times in his past 3 fights, I should say. He was optimal against Rodriguez, scored 102 at 8,900, which is a fairly slim value to be optimal on. That's just an 11.4. And then he was also optimal against, I don't even remember, Ian Heinisch, were even more of a slim value there, 95 points scored at 8,800. So he's going to need a lot of underdogs to win if Gastelum is going to win and make the optimal lineup. So yeah, I'm picking Gastelum, but Stoltzfus has the DFS upside.
Yeah, it's. I was thinking of a Chris Hardwick bit about how the '90s gave rise to the frosty tip dude bro.
Yeah,
Linkin Park.
Yeah, exactly.
You couldn't make consonants in the '90s. Just that yodeling, that soul yodeling.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Anyway, Pretty much agree with you. Gastelum is better, more technical. Stoltzfus still has power. Gastelum's getting old. Is it time for it to fall off? Probably at some point. I don't know if I can't pick him though, but Stoltzfus is certainly live and probably more likely to break the slate. So it's pretty similar to your breakdown. I think Gastelum's the better fighter, wins technically, rough for DFS because of the salary. Stoltzfus less likely to win, but if he wins, it's via that power shot, and I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility here. I'm going to pick Gastelum, more GPP exposure to Stoltzfus for the reasons we talked about. Let's go Rafa Garcia and Jared Gordon. Jared Gordon's minus 235. Rafa Garcia plus 200. Fight goes to decision is minus 260. Your DraftKings salaries. Where's Rafa? There he is. Gordon's 9,100. That's rough for Jared Gordon. Rafa Garcia is 7,100. Monk, where you going?
Yeah, Gordon at 9,100 is not something I want to play a ton of. I mean, this is the most expensive he's ever been. I know some people.
I should have mentioned. I'm sorry. Minus 260. I said earlier, Rendon's the cat. The first two people in your cash game lineup are Rafa Garcia and Montserrat Rendon at live dogs with minus 250 or more to go to decision. It just doesn't seem to be a question. Sorry, I wanted to hit off the bat.
Absolutely right. I mean, Rafa's looked decent. I mean, he beat a 42-year-old Vince Pichel and a 41-year-old Guida. And then
that's young. Those are young guys.
That's true. They are young guys, actually.
Fuck, getting old.
I know. He's only lost to Grant Dawson, which, no shame in that, as we said before, and Drakkar Klose in his last few, and then Hack Prass. That Grutzmacher loss is not great, but he should have won that on paper, it looks like, but he did get outstruck pretty significantly. Jared Gordon has a 62.5% takedown defense, and Garcia lands over 1 per 5 minutes and controls most of the control time there. So unless we're going to see some sort of Thiago Moises like finish fight, as in Jared Gordon fought Thiago Moises, that was the worst sentence ever, where he got an unexpected finish in like 3.5 minutes. I don't see how Gordon even comes close to paying this off. Like Mark Madsen he beat, that's fine. Madsen was almost 40. Leonardo Santos, Joe Selecki, Danny Chavez, like none of these names are very good. Now he's lost to some very good names in Hockprost. King Green was a no contest. Paddy Pimblett most significantly, and then Grant Dawson as well. So
Pimblett, he got robbed.
He did. He absolutely got robbed, and that would have changed his whole trajectory. He would not be fighting Green, Madsen, Hackprast, Moises if that was the case, and he'd probably have a lot more money too, which is sad. I'm not making fun or anything. I'm saying, yeah, it should be like that. But Rafa Garcia is no fucking joke, man. Lands 4 strikes a minute, gets outstruck a little bit, which is a problem for Gordon's constant volume on the feet, which is really where he shines here. Round 1, it's 4.5, 5.9, and then 7.1 in round 3. So if Rafa can get off to a good early start, I think he can stifle some of that Jared Gordon momentum, which he tends to pick up as the fight goes on. And if he just lands takedowns and kind of gets control, lands some non-significant strikes, 7,100 could be an absolute fucking bargain. And I agree with you there. Get him in your cash lineups. And I'm not too high on Gordon, even though I picked him to win. I'm not too high on him for DraftKings whatsoever.
Yeah, same thing. I'm gonna pick Jared Gordon, but Rafa Garcia is a live dog. You can get 62% takedown defense has Jared Gordon. Rafa Garcia looks for takedowns. Gordon is aging. Rafa looks decent. It's one of those. I actually think this fight should be lined closer. I do think there's line value for looking at betting on Rafa Garcia. Jared Gordon is still really good though, and I just think he's a little bit solid everywhere. I also think he's going to come on late down the stretch. I think it goes to decision. I think Gordon wins a relatively close one, but Garcia's live. I'll be over on him in my cash game lineups 1,000%.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on to the co-main event of the evening. An absolute dog shit fight for DFS. Rob Font, David Martinez. I think anyway. Maybe Monk will disagree. Minus 130 for Font, plus 110 for David Martinez. So load here. Fight goes to decision, minus 270. 2 strikers going to decision, most likely. And your salaries are... Oh, there's a dead body. There's a dead body in Contender Series right now. He's dead.
Dude, who's
Cam Teague just died. Look at Dana White. He's dead.
The ref was even almost caught in the crossfire there.
That was bad. Sorry, everyone. Join us live. Hit the like button. Subscribe to Sniper Wins. Join us live on Tuesdays where we do breakdowns on a Contender Series weeks, a little bit of live reaction. Cam Teague is dead. Minus 270 to go to decision. So two guys who are going to strike, expected to go to decision. And Rob Font is going to cost you 8,500 and Martinez is 7,700. Monk, what do we do with this one?
Yeah, I lied earlier. I lied earlier when oh my goodness, no defense. I lied earlier when I said Hernandez and whoever he's fighting. CDF is the only 2-star fight I had. This was another 2-star fight. Could even be a 1-star fight.
I went 1 star.
I was gonna say. I mean, Martinez, Rob Font, we know what he is. He's not landing takedowns. He's getting out controlled. He lands great volume, but if this is going to decision, then what are we thinking as far as scores? Not much, in my opinion. And in fact, when's the last time he knocked out Yanez back in 2023? That was a very good score. Other than that, it's basically decisions, other than Moraes in his last 10. So Martinez on paper has very good striking, has incredible defense, but his strength of schedule is non-existent. He fought Xavier Franklin in the DWCS, and then Simon Oliveira, who's probably not even in the UFC anymore. So yeah, give me Rob Font to win. Don't like this one at all for DFS. And yeah, minus 260 or whatever, like you said, 270 is what I have for 2 strikers. And there's going to be no I mean, Martinez doesn't even shoot takedowns. He doesn't land them. He does end up with control time, but it's probably cage control. So the winner's going to score 80 points. They might not even 10x their salary. Give me Rob Font for the win, but I'm not looking forward to this one for DraftKings.
Yeah. Pretty much nothing to add there. I'm going to go ahead and take Rob Font. I think he's better a little bit. And David Martinez is okay. Is he alive? Sure. Problem is I don't really care. I think this one, I expect this to go 3 rounds, not see much takedown, see a bunch of striking. Better spots, 14 fights, better spots. I'll be less than half to field on both these guys. If somebody ends up optimal, well, fuck. Yeah, I'll kind of move on about my day, but I don't see much upside here. I'll take Rob Font. Let's go to the main event of the evening. Diego Lopez and Jean Silva. Jean Silva's minus 210. Lopez is plus 180. Fight ends inside the distance is minus 325. DraftKings salaries, Jean Silva's 9,200, Diego Lopez 7,000. Monk, your fighting nerds, as I predicted last week, had a real rough week. Imavov, and I was on Benoit Saint-Denis. Is Jean Silva going to get them a win, or is it going to be a real tough 2 weeks for the fighting nerds? Hint, hint, I'm on the dog. I think the fighting nerds are all this good karma they've built up. They're going to have to battle it out a little bit here. I'm picking the upset, but are you?
No, and it's mostly because I'm just not a Diego Lopez fan. His defense is terrible.
Pick against this guy.
I do. I always do, and it's actually worked out. He's 5-3 in the UFC, so he won those 5 in a row. His losses are damn good. Volkanovski, Evloev, fantastic. And the third fight, I said 5-3. I include the DWCS in which he lost to Brito in that one. He did nothing in that fight. 3 of 4 takedowns allowed and a bunch of control time. But then he goes on a 5-fight win streak. Tucker, Sabatini, Yusuf Ige, and Ortega. He's landing takedowns in a few of them, couple of them, one here and there. But his defense is terrible. He's getting outstruck 3.7 to 4.7. He doesn't shoot or land many takedowns. He lands 0.12 per 5 minutes, and he gets out-controlled 30 to 70. Now, I know he's a grappler, so he doesn't care about getting out-controlled 30 to 70. But when you're not doing much offensively and you have pretty bad striking defense, takedown control defense in general, I think John Silva's like a bad motherfucker. Like we could argue who's the better grappler between Lopez and Mitchell, and I'm sure Lopez is the correct answer. But Silva
1,000%
took it. He absolutely took it to Mitchell. Bogdasari.
Mitchell has no striking. At least Lopez has a little bit of striking.
He does have a little bit, but he looked so freaking bad in that Volkanovski fight. Like 2.5 strikes a minute. And then at the end, he's trying to do his Max Holloway thing. Like, brother, you just lost 22.5 minutes straight. Like, what are you even thinking? And I know that's against Volk, one of the best of all time, at featherweight for sure. But John Silva looks like a bad dude. His takedown defense is 86%. he's out striking his opponents. He takes too many strikes, but we're not really worried about that with Lopez. As we said, 3.7, which is more than I would expect for a grappler, but it's not 5. You know what I mean? So I like Silva here. He's got the takedown defense. He knows his way around on the ground. You know, I think unless he gets submitted by Lopez pretty early, I think he's got a good chance at winning this fight here. Now, it is 5 rounds. However, neither guy scores well for DraftKings at all. They've both made the optimal twice in 5 wins. You know, Silva averages 92 per win and Lopez averages 94 per win. It's not a good look. You know, I guess if Lopez wins at what is he, 7K, 72, something like that.
He'll make it 7,000.
7,000. Then yeah, he'll probably be optimal for sure, especially in a 5-round fight. But Silva may be a bit too expensive, but if he can find the finish, which Diego has been finished twice by KO TKO in his career, none in the UFC, but it has happened, then he could easily pay off that salary. I mean, we just saw a 5-round fight in which nothing happened. Both guys scored terribly. Nobody made the optimal lineup, and the stack did not pay off whatsoever. So definitely we're not stacking this one because I think the winner is going to be pretty dominant, but I just like the Silva side, man. I don't dislike Diego Lopez as a person. I don't know what he really does in fights other than get taken down and then other than find opportunity, which is a big part of the fight game, obviously, but he's getting taken down. He's getting controlled. He's getting outstruck. The defense is terrible. He's got some power, but again, is he going to be able to knock down John Silva, who has never been knocked down? So yeah, I don't know. Give me John Silva for the win, and hopefully he can pay off that salary with a finish.
Yeah, look, I don't think he does. I'm going to take a stand here. I will say, unless John Silva wins in the first round, I don't think he makes the optimal. This is not an all-in GPP fight.
That's true.
Because neither guy is super high volume. And if John Silva doesn't win in the first, unless he gets a knockdown in the first, finishes in the second, like it's going to be, I think it's going to be rough. So I'm all about Diego Lopez and his upside in this fight. I also think, John Silva didn't have to worry about any striking from Bryce Mitchell. Lopez is more dangerous on the feet. I think he's the better BJJ player. Wrestling, I don't think Mitchell's a good wrestler either. So I think he's the all-around better grappler, more dangerous. Silva will have more things to worry about. I also think Silva and the Fighting Nerds fight pretty emotional, and I don't think it's great for him that both Bahayo and help me out, Hoofy lost last week. Now that's reading a little bit into it, but I'll take my shot on Diego Lopez here. Better grappler, more upside, striking. He's got more volume. Honestly, if Silva unless he doesn't land big moments and knockdowns, Lopez, while not being the more technical fighter, is going to out-volume him. Like, John Silva needs to land something big and get a finish. Can he do it? Sure, but at this price tag, I'll take my chances on Diego Lopez. I get it. It's just a stand I'm going to take, and if you disagree, it's a dog take for me. So give me a Diego Lopez. I don't think you should stack this in cash games. I would argue I would play neither of these guys in cash games.
Yeah.
I think you can go other places. Put those 2 dogs in, start paying up for Tatiana Suarez. I think there's other places to go. I'm not messing with the main in cash games this week, which is something you don't always hear. They're going to get a ton of ownership, and that's some leverage in the field in cash games. Before we go anywhere, don't go. We're not done yet. We got to get to the namesake of the show, the kill shots. But first, hit the like button. Subscribe to Sniper Wins. Subscribe to DFS Army. Live on the Sniper Wins YouTube channel and my X page on Tuesday nights. Contender Series reactions, hang out, ask questions. Didn't see much questions in chat. We're talking about whiskeys and hard to pronounce hockey names. But come hang out on Tuesday nights. And then watch the recording DFS Army. Join DFS Army. Optimals in MMA last week. Optimals in DFS and NFL. And a Million Maker win last week. Tons of good shit going on. Now that you've hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Followed Monk Maddox everywhere. Followed Sniper Wins. We can give you kill shot. Kill shots are an under-owned play who can help you win a GPP. Doesn't have to be an underdog. Just somebody who will be under-owned. I can't call Sam Hughes a win last week because she was 0.8 points off of being the optimal, which is fucking rough. Do not like that. But we had plenty of dogs and Benoit Saint-Denis and I feel pretty good about last week. So now we got to turn our attention to this week. Monk, who are we going to go to hopefully turn the tides this week?
Well, this is going to be a pretty low-owned fight as a whole, I think. And I went with Jesus Aguilar against Luis Gurule.
Right.
He's 7,500. Nobody's going to be rostering this fight. Probably not nobody, but there's 14 fights, and this one's very easy to overlook. I love the wrestling, the takedown upside from Aguilar, like we said, and then Gurule's got that 50% takedown defense. So as long as Aguilar can get in without getting knocked out, I think we are good. And again, Gurule allowed 10 of 20 takedowns in his DWCS fight, so he can be taken down.
Yeah, we talked about my kill shot about an hour ago. Give me Rodrigo Sezinando. Opening fight of the night. Tough finale, tough championship there. Think he can close the distance. It'll be dangerous for him to do so, but make sure you're overweight on Sezinando. Could be a little chalky, and you know what? If you're going to argue that's too chalky, Sniper, then my backup play for you is the debutant who's a small favorite, but Santiago Luna in the mid-range. I think it's a little bit sneaky for
you. Got a different one on your notes there.
Oh, wait, that's right. You know what? Because yeah, that's right. I totally forgot how high I was on Montserrat Rendon. I totally forgot because everyone's gonna. So you know what? I gave you three guys to be overweight on. I'm going to dual kill shot this week because I did put Rendon. So it's Rendon, Sezinando, and Luna's just for you guys here on the podcast. It won't be an official one. But I like Sezinando a bunch. That's right. I put Rendon because the more I thought about it, minus 550 on Sezinando, that fight to end inside the distance is probably too chalky. That's why I did that. And then I pivoted to Montserrat Rendon, who I don't think anybody's going to play. Everybody's going to play Alice Pereira, who's never fought anybody. So maybe I'm wrong, but those are some plays I will be overweight to. Monk, you got anything before we get out of here? We did 14 fights and kill shots in about an hour. I think we are pros.
Yeah, we smashed it. Todorovic, or not Todorovic, Stolzfus would have been the other one I would have given you. No, that's going to be it, man. Looking forward to it. Hopefully we see just as many finishes this week as we did last week. That was insane. What a great card. What a great daytime card to check out on a Saturday. So I'm looking forward to this one. And yeah, we'll go from there.
Early card again. I think it's just 3 o'clock.
Oh,
not
nice.
quite as early, but I believe it starts at 3. I'm pretty sure. So, guys, make sure you join DFS Army. We got ownerships, more video. By the way, the other videos this week, I'll do a cash game builder on my channel on Thursday, GPP builder on Friday, where I think a month ago we hit the optimal. Last week we hit the second nuts on that show, show you the exact process. And last week was hard to build. It took me 30 minutes to build on that show. We were dicking around with it because it was that bullshit where you had Kawhi Fernandez throwing all kinds of shit off.
Oh, yeah.
So we went through the whole process. Check it out. Hope you guys enjoy it. Make sure you follow Monk Maddox, Monk, MMATICS. Sniper wins. See you guys in the Discord. Appreciate all the love. We'll see you next time. Cash those tickets, guys.